The shocking rise and fall of Tiffany Henyard. From small-town official to mastermind, a hidden empire ***, Tiffany Henyard was once just a regular name in local government, an unassuming public official, barely making headlines outside her small town. But all that changed when the FBI made a stunning revelation. Henyard was at the center of a sprawling, covert empire fueled by hidden bank accounts, illicit deals, and millions of dollars in concealed wealth. For years, she had managed to operate in the shadows, building a fortune while maintaining the appearance of a humble public servant. Today, we're diving deep into this explosive story, a tale that shatters everything you thought you knew about power, influence, and deceit. This is the wild rise and dramatic fall of Tiffany Henyard, and the shocking truths that have finally come to light. On the surface, Henyard appeared to be just another small-town official, a woman dedicated to her job, staying out of the limelight, and working hard for her community. But behind that calm exterior was something far more sinister, a web of financial deception and corruption that stretched not only across local government but spanned international borders. Tiffany wasn't just a public official. She was a mastermind behind a multi-million-dollar criminal network built on secret bank accounts, shady investments, and illegal financial maneuvers. For years, whispers surrounded her wealth. How could someone with a modest public salary afford such an extravagant lifestyle? Luxury vehicles, lavish vacations, designer wardrobes. Few had answers, but the suspicions grew. The truth only began to emerge when the FBI launched what was initially a minor investigation, a routine probe into small financial discrepancies within local budgets. At first, investigators had no reason to suspect Henyard. But when they followed the money trail, her name began popping up in connection to offshore bank accounts not meant for business or savings, but designed to hide fraudulent transactions, evade taxes, and funnel illicit funds. The deeper the FBI dug, the bigger the operation appeared. Millions of dollars were being quietly moved through these accounts, concealed behind layers of shell companies, fake contracts, and international transfers. What started as a small-town investigation quickly escalated into a high-level, multi-country probe, and Tiffany Henyard was at the center of it. How did she manage to keep this empire hidden for so long? The answer lies in years of careful planning and calculated moves. Henyard's story didn't begin as a grand criminal scheme. It evolved. She started out like many in local government, quietly working her way up, building relationships, and learning how the system operated. But at some point, her ambition outgrew the confines of public service. She didn't just want to serve her community. She wanted to control it. She began using her position to manipulate local budgets, divert public contracts, and steer resources for personal gain. Slowly but surely, she built a network of power, forging alliances with influential figures, and securing key decision-makers under her influence. It wasn't a one-woman show. Investigators believe Henyard's operation relied on a tight inner circle, trusted allies, enablers, and accomplices who helped execute her plans and cover her tracks. Together, they exploited loopholes, doctored records, and created fake business fronts to siphon money without detection. By the time the FBI arrived on the scene, Henyard's empire was vast and deeply entrenched. But no criminal network, no matter how sophisticated, is completely foolproof. What initially drew attention were minor inconsistencies, small budget overruns, suspicious contract awards, unexplained financial gaps. These little red flags ultimately led to the unraveling of a much larger web of deception. As the investigation expanded, shocking details emerged. Henyard wasn't just hiding money. She was actively laundering it, using international transfers and offshore accounts to obscure the origin of funds. She had properties under different names, luxury vehicles registered through shell companies, and business investments that masked personal profits. Each layer of the scheme revealed deeper levels of corruption, implicating not only Henyard but also others who were complicit in the cover-up. The most alarming revelation wasn't just the money itself, but the cost to the public. Millions of taxpayer dollars have been drained from local programs. Money meant for schools, public safety, and community services, diverted into Henyard's personal empire. The betrayal ran deep, and the damage stretched beyond financial loss to the very heart of public trust. Now, as Henyard faces the full weight of federal charges, the fallout has begun. Allies are distancing themselves, legal battles are mounting, and the community she once controlled is left reeling. What was once a quiet town is now the epicenter of a national corruption scandal, and the case against Tiffany Henyard promises to be one of the most closely watched in years. This is more than just a story about one woman's rise and fall. It's a cautionary tale about how power can be abused, how public trust can be shattered, and how even the most unassuming figures can harbor the darkest secrets. As the legal proceedings unfold, one thing is certain. The shocking truth behind Tiffany Henyard's hidden empire has changed everything, and the ripples of this scandal will be felt for years to come. Stay tuned as we continue to uncover more about this remarkable and dangerous story. The shocking downfall of Tiffany Henyard, how one woman's secret empire unraveled **** Tiffany Henyard mastered the art of siphoning funds through hidden channels, creating shell companies, and quietly skimming off the top of government projects. But it wasn't just taxpayer money that fueled her vast empire. Tiffany also dove into shady, high-risk investments, channeling her illicit profits through offshore accounts and using them as a buffer to hide the true scale of her wealth. Secretive deals, covert financial transactions, and the ability to move money seamlessly across international borders allowed Tiffany to amass a fortune far beyond what anyone could have imagined. Yet, what made her operation truly remarkable wasn't just the money. It was her ability to keep everything under the radar. Tiffany wasn't just playing the game of corruption. She was playing it better than anyone else, and she had built a network of powerful allies to help her do it. But in the end, it was Tiffany's own ambition, her relentless hunger for more, that would become her undoing. The turning point in the FBI's investigation came when agents made a dramatic breakthrough. Up until then, Tiffany's financial maneuvers had been carefully obscured by layers of deception, hidden bank accounts, offshore companies, and financial proxies. But the FBI didn't back down. They patiently traced her financial trail, cross-referencing records, unraveling complex transactions, and connecting dots that Tiffany believed were untraceable. Finally, their persistence paid off. Investigators uncovered key documents that directly linked Tiffany's name to a series of high-profile, covert financial transactions, deals she thought were buried too deep to ever be discovered. These documents were a game-changer. They not only exposed the hidden empire Tiffany had spent years building, but also revealed the staggering scale of her operation. The money wasn't just moving through local accounts or small investments. It was flowing across international borders, being funneled into global enterprises, and laundered through high-stakes ventures. Tiffany's entire financial web was laid bare, and the investigation gained momentum fast. As the pieces fell into place, the world began to see just how far Tiffany had gone to cover her tracks. What had once been a shadowy, impenetrable network was now in the hands of federal agents, and Tiffany's fall from grace was only beginning. The seizure of Tiffany Henyard's bank accounts and assets marked the start of her dramatic downfall. As the full scale of her hidden wealth became public knowledge, the ripple effects spread far beyond her personal life. Tiffany's once thriving empire was now in ruins, and the shockwaves from her arrest were felt throughout local government, the community she once served, and even the financial institutions that had, perhaps unknowingly, been complicit in her schemes for Tiffany. The consequences were immediate and severe. She now faced a daunting list of federal charges, including tax evasion, money laundering, fraud, and a host of other financial crimes. The woman who had quietly built a fortune through manipulation, deception, and sheer cunning was now at the mercy of the justice system. With her assets frozen, her political power stripped away, and the public turning against her, Tiffany's path was set. It was only a matter of time before she would face trial, and likely years of imprisonment for her crimes. But the fallout didn't stop with Tiffany herself. Local government officials, many of whom had once been blinded by her charm and influence, were now scrambling to salvage what little credibility remained. The community, deeply disillusioned by the betrayal of someone they had once trusted, was left to pick up the pieces. Yet, Tiffany's downfall was more than just a personal tragedy. It served as a massive wake-up call for the broader system of government oversight. Her case revealed just how easily corruption can flourish unnoticed for years, and how fragile the safeguards meant to protect public funds can be when ambition and greed collide. As the investigation continues, the FBI has hinted that Tiffany Henyard's empire may be just the tip of the iceberg. Other figures in local government and beyond may soon find themselves under scrutiny as federal agents dig deeper into the vast financial networks she helped create. For Tiffany, the fall from power is now complete. But for the public, one critical question remains. How many more Tiffany Henyards are out there, hiding in plain sight? Tiffany Henyard's shocking downfall serves as a stark reminder of the dark side of power, ambition, and greed. What started as a quiet rise to local influence ultimately turned into a multi-million-dollar criminal empire built on corruption, deception, and exploitation. The FBI's relentless investigation has not only exposed the depths of her illicit dealings, but has also raised serious, lingering questions about accountability, both within local government and across the financial systems that allowed the scheme to operate for so long. As more details continue to unfold, one thing is clear. This story is far from over. Tiffany Henyard's hidden empire may have collapsed, But the investigation promises to uncover even more shocking truths in the months ahead. In the end, her case proves that no matter how deeply secrets are buried, the truth will always find its way to the surface. If this explosive story left you stunned, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss breaking news like this. We want to hear from you. What's next for Tiffany Henyard, and how deep do you think this corruption goes? Drop your comments below and join the conversation.